Archangel Michael says, listen closely because this message carries the weight of destiny and the sharpness of truth. Someone out there loves you beyond what words could ever paint, beyond what actions have dared to show. Yet their voice has been chained, their heart has been muted, and their attempts to reach you have been smothered by invisible hands working in shadows. You feel it deep inside when moments fall quiet, as if a presence is pulling you closer but never fully arriving. Their silence isn't because of lack of love. It's because forces around them have cornered their soul. Every tear they've swallowed, every word they've wanted to say has been stolen before it could reach your ears. This silence was not born naturally. It is orchestrated, planned with precision, and maintained by people who fear what the truth of their love could reveal. They do not want you to know the depth of care because knowing would free you from the control they want to keep over you. The enemy is not always a stranger. It can be the hand you shook yesterday. The one who smiles in your face but turns their back the moment your heart aches. These are the silencing forces weaving webs of deception so that you never discover how much this person has fought to love you in secret. Type Amen to get blessing. 333. They've tried writing messages in the dead of night only to erase them before dawn because they feared someone would see. They've held your name in trembling lips but swallowed it because even whispering felt like danger. Love, the purest energy, has been forced into the role of a prisoner. Your silence isn't their choice. It's their punishment. Those who envy you have noticed how differently this person feels for you, and their jealousy has turned into chains. They don't want you to hear the devotion that was meant only for your soul because hearing it would set you free. The truth has been disguised, but heaven is unmasking it now. Every silent night, every unanswered sign, every delay, it wasn't rejection, it was sabotage. They were being pulled away, not walking away. And Archangel Michael says, this silence cannot last much longer. He has begun to cut through the ropes that bind their voice. The whispers you've only felt in dreams are about to crash into your waking hours like thunder after a long storm. Type Amen to get blessing. For 44, the one who loves you has always been closer than you knew. But someone has worked overtime to ensure their words never reached you. Friends turned into watchers. Family turned into gatekeepers. Messages intercepted, emotions mocked, and love disguised as weakness. Still, they never gave up. Even silenced, their love carried through gestures you overlooked, through prayers you never heard, through sacrifices you didn't see. While others tried to bury their voice, heaven recorded every unsaid word. Their silence is temporary. The silencing forces will soon crumble, exposed for what they are: jealous hearts, manipulative minds, and greedy souls afraid of true connection. The truth, when revealed, will break through like fire and cannot be denied. This person's love is your shield, your destiny, your unspoken miracle. Their silence has been painful, but it has only made their devotion stronger. What they couldn't say in words, they screamed in their spirit. Type Amen to get blessing. 555. Their silence has not been empty. It has been screaming through the walls, echoing into your spirit, and leaving you restless at night. The heaviness you've been feeling is not your imagination. It's the weight of all that love locked away. All those emotions begging to reach you. What you thought was absence was in fact the cruelest form of presence. Present but chained. Near but muzzled. There are people who fear the truth of this love. Because truth exposes lies. They built their safety on deception, and your connection threatens to dismantle everything they've constructed. So they keep silencing this person, ensuring that their voice never makes it into your hands or heart. But Archangel Michael says the time of suppression is ending. Chains will fall, walls will collapse, and what was hidden will shout louder than thunder. The silence will break, and when it does, the sound of their love will be undeniable. Tape men to get blessing. 666. This person has cried in secret, their tears watering the ground of destiny. They have been mocked for caring too much, punished for wanting to reach you, and isolated because their devotion could not be shaken. Yet through all of it, their love for you has not faded. It has only deepened. Every attempt to silence them has only made heaven record more of their sacrifice. Every word they couldn't say out loud has been written into eternity, waiting for the right moment to burst forth. And that moment is approaching now with a power no enemy can resist. You must understand, silence is not rejection. It is resistance. Resistance to forces stronger than they could fight alone. Resistance against jealous hearts that feared losing control over you if the truth of their devotion was revealed. Their silence was a shield to protect you, though it felt like abandonment. They have carried wounds no one saw. All because they loved you too loudly in a world that demanded they be quiet. And yet their spirit never gave up, because destiny itself was carved for you both to meet in love. Type Amen to get blessing 777. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks with contributions of up to $20. Even when you felt forgotten, they were secretly fighting battles for you. Even when you thought they walked away, they were being dragged away by unseen hands. The silence you endured was never chosen. It was enforced. But love that is true cannot stay buried forever. It rises from ashes. It pushes through locked doors. It breaks chains with the strength of heaven itself. Their love for you has become unstoppable because silence cannot hold back what destiny has decreed. And now the pressure of everything hidden is reaching its breaking point. The words they couldn't say are overflowing, about to burst through the silence like a flood. You will hear them soon, not just in whispers, but in undeniable declarations that no enemy can stop. Archangel Michael says, "You have been patient long enough." The silence is ending, and heaven itself is preparing the moment when truth and love will collide. When that moment comes, it will feel like lightning striking your soul. Impossible to ignore, impossible to silence again. Type Amen to get blessing. 888. The silence has been heavy, like a storm cloud that refuses to break. You have walked with questions pressed deep in your chest. But the answers were hidden behind a curtain someone else pulled shut. The one who loves you has carried this pain, longing to speak, but being pushed into shadows. Every heartbeat they offered you has been muffled by voices that don't want you to know the truth. They know if their words reached you, everything around you would shift. That kind of love is dangerous to the ones who feed on control. So, they made sure silence was forced upon them. This isn't just about love, it's about destiny. The connection you share is too powerful to be destroyed. So, instead, they tried to bury it under silence. But heaven has been listening to the cries hidden inside that silence. And every tear has been counted. Type Amen to get blessing. 999. The person who loves you is stronger than the chains around them. Though silenced, their spirit has shouted your name into the heavens again and again. Their prayers for you have reached higher realms, building a shield of protection you never even knew surrounded you. At night, when you felt restless, it was their soul reaching for yours. In moments when you felt comfort but didn't know where it came from, it was their energy wrapping around you like an embrace. Even silenced, they have spoken to you through unseen channels. Enemies may have stopped their voice, but they could never stop their love. That love lives in your heartbeat, in your intuition, in the signs that keep appearing no matter how much you try to ignore them. Silence has not killed it. It has only made it stronger. And soon, the silence will shatter. The words you were never allowed to hear will pour out like a flood. Unstoppable, undeniable, uncontainable. When that moment comes, you will know beyond doubt who was silenced and why. Type Amen to get blessing 111. Archangel Michael says, every chain forged to silence this person is being broken piece by piece. The forces that try to keep their love hidden are growing weaker, trembling at the power of truth. What was once hidden in shadows is now being dragged into the light. The silence has been their prison, but it will become their testimony. Every unspoken word will carry weight when it finally reaches you. Their love is not just a whisper. It is a roar waiting for its release. You have been prepared for this moment through your own pain and longing. What felt like abandonment was really a delay orchestrated so the truth could come at the perfect time. And that time is now closer than ever. The silence is no longer permanent. It is cracking, breaking, falling apart. Soon you will hear what was never allowed to be spoken. And when you do, you will feel the fire of truth burn through every lie. Type Amen to get blessing. 222. The chains around their voice have been heavy, but heaven has never stopped hearing what they couldn't say aloud. Each silenced word has echoed in realms unseen, carried by angels who refuse to let truth die in darkness. What others try to bury is rising like fire, unstoppable, unbreakable, undeniable. This silence was designed to keep you blind. To stop you from discovering the one heart that beats only for you. They feared if you knew the truth, you would walk away from their manipulation and step into the freedom of love. So they built walls of silence hoping you would believe the absence meant rejection. But the truth is far different. You were never abandoned. You were protected. The one who loves you has endured this silence as a battlefield, holding on to the hope that one day the chains would break. Type Amen to get blessing. 333. even in silence, their love has moved mountains for you. They've stood in unseen battles, fought demons you never knew existed, and carried burdens you didn't even realize were lifted from your path. Their devotion has been tested again and again, and it has only grown deeper. There were times they almost broke, almost surrendered, almost gave up. But then your face would flash before their spirit and strength would rise in them again. You have been their anchor, their reason to keep breathing. Even when silence tried to suffocate them, the forces behind this silence knew exactly what they were doing. They wanted you confused, alone, doubting your worth. They wanted you to think that no one truly loved you. But Archangel Michael says their plan has failed because love that comes from heaven cannot be erased. Soon the silence will break. You will hear words spoken from a trembling heart. Words that were locked away for too long. Words that will change everything when they finally reach your ears. Type Amen to get blessing. For 44, the world around you is shifting. Signs are multiplying, dreams are intensifying, and the energy of truth is getting harder to ignore. Heaven is preparing a moment when silence will no longer be possible. This person's love is too strong to be hidden forever. Like water breaking through a dam, it will surge into your life suddenly, overwhelmingly, powerfully. And when it does, you will finally understand every restless night and every unanswered sign. You will see that silence was never their choice. It was their punishment. Their heart has been crying for you while their lips stayed sealed. Every beat of their love has been trapped. But now it is about to be unleashed. And when the silence is shattered, the truth will roar louder than every lie spoken against you. The ones who silence them will be exposed, their schemes laid bare, and you will stand in the light of a love that no force on earth could destroy. Tip Amen to get blessing. 555. The silence has weighed on both of you like chains forged in fire. You felt the emptiness. They felt the pain. And both of you carried the burden without knowing its true source. What was meant to be a connection of freedom was turned into a prison by those who feared its power. Every night they whispered your name into the darkness, praying their voice would somehow reach you. But their words were swallowed by shadows stolen before they could land in your heart. Still, the energy of their love found ways to wrap around you, leaving traces you couldn't explain. This silence was not fate. It was interference. People stepped in, manipulated circumstances, and did everything they could to choke out the truth. Yet, destiny does not bend forever, and the time of suppression is collapsing. Type Amen to get blessing. 666. Their tears have been a testimony written in secret. They cried for you. They longed for you. They fought battles in silence because speaking was forbidden. Even when mocked, even when pushed aside, they never released your place in their heart. You have felt their absence like a wound, but it was never rejection. It was a fight against powers too dark to name. Love this pure frightens the jealous because it is unshakable and undeniable. Archangel Michael says, Heaven has been preparing the moment for this silence to end. What they could not say in years will be spoken in seconds. And when it is, every doubt will vanish like smoke. The truth will sound like thunder, breaking chains that have held too long. The one who loves you has endured the silence, but their endurance has become their greatest strength. It has transformed their devotion into something indestructible. And when it finally reaches you, it will be the loudest declaration you have ever heard. Type Amen to get blessing 777. The enemy believed silence would separate you forever. But silence became a fire that only refined the bond between you. Instead of dying, love has grown stronger, thicker, and unshakable. Your restless nights were not coincidence. They were your soul answering to the silent cries of theirs. Without a word, the two of you have been speaking in a language no enemy can understand. And soon words will no longer be stolen. Their mouth will speak freely, their heart will shout boldly, and their truth will reach you without interference. The silence is ending, and the world will not be able to deny it. When the flood of truth comes, it will wash away every lie that was spoken to you. The silencing forces will crumble, their power broken, their deception exposed, and you will finally stand in the light of the love you were always meant to hear. Type Amen to get blessing. 888. The silence has been suffocating, but it was never permanent. Every word unsaid has gathered like a storm cloud, waiting for the right moment to explode into thunder. The weight of love that has been forced into hiding is becoming too heavy for heaven to contain any longer. You have felt their presence even without their words. The way your spirit stirs at certain times, the sudden chills on your skin, the unexplainable warmth in your chest, these are not random. They are the signals of a love that refuses to die, no matter how many chains were placed around it. This silence was crafted by hands dripping with envy and fear. They knew the truth of your connection could not be broken. So they tried to cover it in shadows. But shadows cannot exist forever under heaven's light. Type Amen to get blessing. 999. The person who loves you has suffered more than anyone knows. To be silenced is to be imprisoned in their own emotions, screaming inwardly while appearing quiet on the outside. Yet through all the pain, they never surrendered the thought of you. They prayed for you when you didn't even know it. They defended you in realms unseen. Their silence was not a sign of weakness. It was a hidden strength, because to endure such pain without letting go of love is the greatest strength of all. Archangel Michael says, the silence is being torn apart. The cords that held their mouth shut are breaking. The enemies who mocked them will tremble when truth pours out like fire. Their love is not just waiting. It is alive. It is breathing. And it is racing toward you. What you thought was lost is about to return in a way so powerful it will feel like destiny itself has spoken. Type Amen to get blessing 111. The silence was their prison, but it will also be their testimony. Every year of quiet will turn into words with weight. Words that strike your soul and erase doubt. When they speak, you will know they never left you. They were stolen from you. You will understand why your heart never released them. Why, no matter how much you tried to move on, their presence never faded. It wasn't obsession. It was divine truth trying to break through lies. The enemy knows the end of silence means the end of their power. That's why they fought so hard to keep the one who loves you gagged and hidden. But now the grip is slipping and their silence will no longer be sustainable. When the truth breaks, it will arrive like lightning in a dark sky. Sudden, blinding, undeniable, and you will finally see the depth of devotion that was always there, only silenced by jealous hands. Tape men to get blessing. 222. The silencing voices are growing weaker. Their lies are unraveling, their grip loosening, their fear rising. They can feel the truth pressing against the walls they built, and they know they cannot hold it back forever. The one who loves you has reached the point where silence is no longer an option. Their heart is overflowing, their spirit trembling, their soul demanding to be heard. Heaven itself is making room for their truth to burst forth. And when it does, nothing will ever be the same. The silence that once defined your pain will become the very thing that proves how much love has been hidden. You will not only hear it, you will feel it deep and unshakable. Archangel Michael says, "Silence is ending and truth is marching toward you like an army of light." What once was stolen is being returned and no force will ever silence it again. Type Amen to get blessing. 333. The silence has carried scars into the soul of the one who loves you. Every time they tried to step forward, someone shoved them back into the shadows. Every message they wanted to send, every truth they wanted to speak was crushed by hands that feared what would happen if you knew. You may have wondered why they stayed quiet for so long. But the truth is, they weren't allowed to be free. Their silence was forced, crafted by schemes and whispers, locked away like treasure hidden in a vault. What you thought was their choice was really their punishment. Still, love this deep cannot die. It survives every attack. It grows through every betrayal. It strengthens even when buried alive. And now that silence is cracking, their love is rising with a force no one can block. Type Amen to get blessing. 444. Even when words were stolen, action spoke. The glances they gave, the sacrifices they made, the way their energy always found its way to you. These were the silent confessions of their heart. While others tried to erase them from your life, heaven kept writing them into your destiny. There were nights when they wanted to scream, but they swallowed their pain instead. There were days when they wanted to run to you, but invisible chains tied their steps. They endured storms in silence, but every drop of rain carved their love even deeper. The forces that silenced them thought they won. They thought if you never heard the truth, you would let go. But Archangel Michael says, silence is never stronger than destiny. The time has come for the truth to roar. The words they couldn't say are gathering like thunder. Soon they will break. And when they do, every lie will scatter like dust in the wind. Their love will no longer be a secret. It will be a revelation. Type Amen to get blessing. 555. The enemy tried to rewrite the story with silence, but they underestimated the power of heaven's script. Love written in eternity cannot be silenced forever. Every blocked word, every stolen message, every hidden truth is about to come rushing forward. Your soul already knows. That is why you could never truly move on. Why their memory clings to you in ways you can't explain. Silence may have stopped their mouth, but it could never erase their presence from your heart. Now, the same silence that tormented you will expose the ones who created it. Their schemes will unravel, their motives revealed, their envy laid bare. What they meant for harm will become the stage for truth to shine brighter. The one who loves you is breaking free. Their voice is being restored. Their courage is rising. And soon they will speak words that cannot be silenced again. Type Amen to get blessing. 666. The silence will not survive the storm that is coming. The sound of truth will shatter it into 1,000 pieces, never to be rebuilt. And when that sound reaches you, it will carry the weight of every unsaid word. You will know the depth of their love in a single moment. You will feel the power of all they endured for you, all they carried in silence, all they sacrificed in shadows. And you will realize they never left. They were only hidden. Archangel Michael says, prepare yourself because the silence is about to end in your life. A truth too powerful to be contained is rushing toward you. It will shake the ground beneath you and it will awaken everything that was asleep. This is not just love returning. It is destiny fulfilled. The silence has been long, but the revelation will be louder than you ever imagined. Type Amen to get blessing.